Good afternoon. My name is David Ray, and today I'm going to be informing you about gangs and how they affect our society. Introduction. They can be found everywhere you go. Cities, suburbs, city-states, and countries all over the world. It all started in 1740 in the country of India and rapidly spread all over the world. Today they are formally known as either Bloods or Crips and other different names. Crime Stoppers on a daily basis try to put out the fire, but it fails time after time. Gangs have such a huge effect on society. They populate the streets with drugs, as well as filling the streets with crime. Believe it or not, gangs have spread so widely that 1 to 2% of military personnel are known to be in gangs. After doing my research, I found out a lot of information about gangs. According to the National Youth Gang Survey in 2011, there were an estimated of 29,900 gangs and 782 gang members throughout 3,000 jurisdictions with gang problems. Law enforcement agencies frequently report and observe overlap of gangs and drugs, especially street-level sales. Let's talk a little bit about ethnicity. Alright. Black and African American gang members make up about 31% of gangs. There are known to be about 310,000 black gang members. Hispanic gang members, known to make up about 45% of the gang population. There are known to be about roughly 470,000 Hispanic gang members. White and Caucasian gang members, they're known to be about 13%. Typically that makes up about 130,000 according to a police survey. And Asian gang members, they're about 7% or basically 70,000 Asian gang members. To understand the problems that gangs bring to society, we need to learn the very basic about gangs. Why do people join gangs? First off, they join gangs because they want an identity. Being a part of a gang allows the gang member to achieve levels of status he or she feels impossible outside the gang culture. Also, young teenagers believe being in gangs makes his or herself cool. Protection. Many members join because they live in gang area and are therefore subject to violence by rival gangs. Joining guarantees support in case of attack and retaliation for transgressions. Family. Young people feel as though they don't receive enough attention. They also try to escape from a negative home life, or just look to look to get a family that they never had. How does a person join a gang? Typically, to join a gang, you undergo initiation by fellow gang members, or committing acts of crime such as murder, battery, armed robbery, and etc. Where do gangs exist? Gangs exist everywhere. Typically, gangs exist in urban areas, and more recently, they're finding a lot of gangs off in the suburbs. Also, they're in jails, prisons, and schools. What are the signs that a person might be in a gang? Typically they might be experimenting with drugs, dropping school grades, particularly rather sudden, cutting classes regularly or not going to school at all, avoiding family gatherings, changing friends, rebelling at school and home, poor family bonding, violating family curfew standards, and having large sums of money. What are the advantages and disadvantages of joining gangs? Well, the advantages are you have short-term protection, fellowship and brotherhood, and identity. You get that cool identity that everyone thinks cool at first. Disadvantage. Usually gang members get incarcerated, peer pressure to commit acts of crime, pollute the streets with drugs, and death. How do we put a stop to gangs in our society? Parents are the very first step. Ensure you are showing your children plenty of love and affection. Many join because they do not have that, or feel like they don't have a family. A gang promises to give this feeling of family to the youth. Inform local law enforcement. Law enforcement have different teams and programs to control these issues in community, so it is important that we utilize them. Also, I feel as though we need to create more recreation centers for the youth. It is important to have these facilities because they keep teenagers occupied and off the streets. These facilities usually have computer labs along with having a staff that can help teenagers with homework and spark motivation to stay in school. Conclusion. Gangs bring nothing positive to society. Gang violence and gang wars suck up a city's police resources because of the huge number of gang members involved. They also force the FBI to utilize expensive resources like surveillance cameras and witness protection programs. They keep investors away, fearing that area with high crime rates will be avoided because of fear and danger that crime brings. Lastly, it's no shape or form or fashion to raise children in an area. Thank you. I hope everyone is informed and have a great day.